Shalom. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and salute all you other Akim out there pushing his word to the four corners in truth and sincerity, feeding the sheep and the flock. Today I want to start with Sirach chapter 11 and verse 7, and it reads, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke." All right? When you come into this truth, you got to understand, man, that you're now supposed to move in the spirit of wisdom. All right? Not that same mentality that you had prior. All right? With being a loudmouth and reckless was your go-to, man. You know, for whatever reason, you know, men have different reasons for why they reacted to situations as they did. Rather it be, you know, experiences that they went through. You know, some men, for example, might not have felt like they was heard in the world, or just growing up as children. You know, so now when they get into this truth and they get authority of the Lord through the Spirit, you know, they run with that and they use that that power. And at times, man, you know, they could abuse it, because it's not necessarily that you're abusing it in the sense of in this context. I mean, it's not the sense that you're abusing it in a way to, you know, assert your authority over others, though that may be what the case is. But a lot of times you don't even understand that by abusing that power that you're given, you mishandle it and you cause stumbling blocks for yourself, man. Because now you feel as if there's nothing that could be taught to you. Okay, as soon as you know, something is presented to you, you automatically cast it off, man. You know, and you don't cleave into understanding. Rather the person be right or wrong. You know, that's why the scriptures tell you this, man. It's a wise saying. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke." Because, you know, sometimes you gotta let the understanding come forth, and you start picking it apart at its weak points from there, especially if it's something that's a false doctrine. Okay? But what if that person is right? You know? They're on point and hitting every single thing, but you now have closed your ears to understanding why, because you ain't take heed to the Spirit of the Lord and what it's telling you right here, man. You know, you have to understand first, and then you could have your rebuttal. That's what a wise man would do. You know, don't operate as a babbling fool. All right, verse 8, and it says, "Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, and neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk." You know, sometimes you gotta let people fall upon their own sword, which is your tongue. And that's how you deal with these situations. You don't, you know, cut them off in the middle of their speech, because in the middle of all their talking, you know, they already made 3 mistakes in what they said. You know, and once they're finished, then you could address those things. And that's how you use wisdom to reason with men. You know? And especially when it comes to brothers that's in this truth, we have to be able to delight in wisdom. You know, because everything has a teaching point. You know, if you're truly working in the Spirit, you understand that the Spirit moves you to do all things, even the conversations that you have with others on a day-to-day basis. And rather a brother be right or wrong, you know, to let the brother get his understanding to come out and come forth, you know, could also lead to the edification of that brother. But at times you may stop that brother from explaining why he thinks that something isn't correct. And now you've offended that man, you know. And we've all been to that point at one place or another. But that's why, you know, the scriptures inform us to get that understanding first, man. And here's another scripture. It's Sirach chapter 6 and 35. And it says, "Be willing to hear every godly discourse." All right. Anytime these scriptures come out, man, hey, be willing to listen to it. Sometimes, you know, it may not necessarily be something that's on point, you know, but hey, we should delight in these things, because it may be the opportunity for the Lord to use you to bring forth the understanding, you know, that brother is lacking, you know. And especially too when you first come into the truth. Like I was speaking to my brothers earlier. At times you may think that you know it all, man. It's your first, second year in the truth, for example. I mean, shoot, even the elders say, you know, you 5 years in, man, you still a baby. You know what I'm saying? You still getting the milk, because the scriptures is a living, breathing document. You know, every day new understanding is going to come forth brighter and brighter and brighter. So, you know, especially for the younger brothers in this truth, this is exhortation, man. Sometimes you just need to be quiet and listen. You may think that you know everything, but you got to understand, man, you got to put off that old man. You just came straight out of Christianity or being a rapper, you know? And you hear a little bit, you think that you know the scriptures because you got the breakdown on Deuteronomy chapter 28 or something. Man, you still on the milk. That's basic, you know. You know, that's milk scriptures is what I'm trying to say, because there's nothing basic about the scriptures. But those are milk scriptures, man. You know, showing you that we went into captivity and this and this. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So you have to be willing to let others teach you, because you don't know everything, man. That's why it says, be willing to hear every godly discourse and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. Because, hey, that's detrimental to you, man. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. So if your understanding is wrong on one point, eventually it'll overtake the whole doctrine. Because why? You let those parables of understanding escape you. Why? Because you made a thought that you knew more than the next brother, or that brother don't know what he talking about. Well, now guess what, man? You know, the truth is further from you than you think that it is, man. You now been cast out of the courts of Yahweh Shem El Shai because you didn't give heed to the words of the Lord. You know, now you have to stand on the outside and look in and speculate on what you think is on the inside. You know? Continuing on, it says, verse 36, and if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. All right, and that's what we do. You know, chiefly starting with the Lord Yahweh Shai. He was given the spirit without measure. So the Lord was able to give Yahweh Shai understanding that, you know, he gave Yahweh Shai understanding of all things. Let me put it that way. Right? He was given that spirit without measure. And it was passed down to the apostles and down to the disciples, you know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And the thing is, I mean, you have to cleave to these men. When the spirit of the Lord abides on somebody, you know, if you truly are called and guided by the spirit, you know who the spirit's on and who is not. All right. And we're commanded, you know, or exhorted to cleave to those men and follow their footsteps, man, as they follow the Lord, like Paul, like Peter. All right. All right, and this is Luke chapter 19 and verse 26. I'm going to end it with this. It says, this is Luke chapter 19, verse 26. All right, and it says, for I say unto you that unto every one which has shall be given, and from him that has not, even that which he has shall be taken away from him. All right. Meaning what? Hey, more and more as we get to the coming of the Lord, man. You know, if the Lord is supping with you, okay, he's going to increase you more and more. That which you have, you shall receive more and more into abundance. But the men that don't have, that's going to be taken away from them, the things that they think that they have, man. You know, and that's why their wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is not going to stand, because wisdom shall be increased. All right. So what you want to do, man, is cleave unto the men with understanding and depart from those who don't. Because if you're around them, hey, man, that which you have shall be taken away. And you can see it. You know, once the Lord starts increasing men and wisdom, and those fruit starts coming forth, all right, and the end is going to show. who was truly sent of the Lord, and who was there, just as the hireling, man. Yeah, but with that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Till next time, Shalom.